Hey everyone, I'm really excited because Nutcracker finally got into the game. To celebrate, I decided to make a video on the development of the map, give an insight on how things came to be and what challenges I faced. Since I was responsible for a big portion of the level design, the detailing and helping with writing and recording the voice lines, I will predominantly talk about those topics on this video. So if you are someone who is interested in level design for TF2 or just curious to see how the development of a map usually goes, lay back, relax and...
Now you wanna get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Interestingly, the map started as a submission for the TF Connect contest. I collabed with the talented Ramkin, the man behind the funny seal map, and we got to work. Ramkin drew a few reference pictures on how the Nutcracker could look like, and we talked about different ideas on how the layout could work. I also created a few ideas of mine and drew my own layout. We went back and forth with the design ideas we had. The design continued for a while until we reached this point. We even experimented with different ideas, but the negative thing about the map was that we joined late for the contest. If I recall correctly, we made the map in less than 5 days, and as you can imagine, the map didn't do as well as we hoped. The map had a few major design issues. For starters, it was pretty small, the Nutcracker mouth remained open all the time, mid wasn't interesting to fight around, etc. However, most people agreed that the idea of the map was good.
Very good!
So after that, Ramkin and I did try a few more designs. Due to me being a perfectionist and never being satisfied with the result, Ramkin lost interest on the map. Keep this in mind, cause it will be important later. After a year, I approached Doom to collab on Nutcracker. I was a fan of his work and he showed great potential level design. Again, we made many different layouts and here are some of his. And here are some of mine. You may notice that I was still never satisfied with what I made, and Doom had to convince me that this layout was it. What he did was to pick the best ideas of our designs, connect them nicely, and I reluctantly agreed to give this a shot. As a result, the second version of Player Destruction Nutcracker was born. This time around, the map was made longer, we implemented jump pads to launch players into the Nutcracker's mouth, and we also added a balcony which allowed players to attack those who are capping the point. For the next 3 months we playtested the map a bunch, and the map reached a good enough state. But surprise, surprise, I wasn't satisfied with good enough. So I reworked mid. As you can see, the Nutcracker was always the most important part of the map. In my mind, I wanted the whole design to flow around the Nutcracker, so that was one demand I had. Player destruction usually works better with multiple capture zones or a moving capture zone similar to Selbian. However, I didn't want to take the focus away from the Nutcracker, so here's my second demand. The Nutcracker will be the only capture zone on the map, and it will be static. The only moving part will be the mouth, and my third demand was to make the Nutcracker climbable. I imagined the feeling that the players could get where they climb the Nutcracker and surprise the enemy, and I couldn't let this idea go. As you can imagine, those demands were difficult on their own. However, I also had to improve the rest of the map. The lake area was almost never used, since it provided no significant reason to go there. To fix this, I kept the health pack idea and I also attached a staircase leading up to the jump pad. Now classes such as Heavy can use a jump pad for quick attack on the point.
Yeah!
Lastly, I also wanted players to navigate the space underneath the Nutcracker. I wanted to keep it pretty tight as a contrast to the open areas and also connect it to the upper floor balcony from the previous version. Instead of platforms around the Nutcracker's mouth, I originally added bridges and, interestingly, jump pads for spies.
I am the spy.
I was let down that this idea didn't work, but hey, experimenting never hurt anyone. I updated the map in late March and people seemed to like the map a lot more. However, everyone agreed that the platform should return. After a few more sessions, the map was ready. Some even called it their favorite player distraction map, and with that huge win on April of this year, I started detailing the map. I usually start the detailing with the basic shapes of the structures, so I can make quick changes on the fly, and when the buildings look good enough and make sense, then I add textures. Another demand I had was for the map to use asymmetrical detailing. Why? Cause I hate myself. Because I want to make something truly special, not just a copy-paste job. This demand proved pretty difficult. There was a lack of concept art images to help me with the aesthetic of the Toy Factory theme, so I had to improvise. Despite that, I played around with multiple ideas until I was satisfied. Now, so you can see how much of a perfectionist I am, the first fully textured version of the map was completed around August 9th. The final version of the detailing was completed 3 months later. Let me show you why. See this building on the blue side? Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, so I changed it. Still not happy, so I changed it. Same thing with interiors. See this mid-building behind the Nutcracker? Here's how many times I changed it. I understand that sometimes I may be harsh on myself, but I truly love what I'm doing. I can't just make something good enough, something passable. I think that's also apparent from the found tapes that I made to expand the Nutcracker's lore. Didn't have to make those, but damn, I love this game so much. I love my job, and I wanted to add as much soul and passion as I could. In my opinion, this is why I believe people love my maps so much, and why I see pieces of art about them from time to time. You guys have no idea how much all of this mean to me. Just seeing you enjoy my work, having fun, laughing or getting inspired by my maps, it truly makes my day. And so here we are, the layout is finally completed, and now as far as the voice lines are concerned, I will let my colleague Apostolos Mpaltas talk about how we wrote and recorded the voice lines, the challenge we faced, and how in the end we brought the Nutcracker to life.
Hello, lovely mercenaries of the Badlands. My name is Apostolos Mpaltas, and I'm the voice of the Nutcracker. I met Billo at a local bar in the city which we study, and I saw the opening screen of his phone, and right there was the medic. Instantly, when I saw that phone screen, I just went, "Time for your examination!" And he cracked a laugh, and from there on, our brink friendship started growing. We went to coffee shops, took a pen. At first, me and Billo tried to find out who the Nutcracker really was. And we tried to settle down on a certain accent, because he can't sound Greek, or, let's say, English at maximum capacity. He's a foreigner. So I tried to settle down on a more Christmas vibed or whimsical accent. And it sounded kind of like, "Oh, Merry Smissmas, you filthy mercenaries! Have you been good boys this year? I hope so, because I'm very hungry." Yeah, that was our first take on who he was. And the feedback was, some people liked it, some people claimed it was too cartoonish for the game. Well, I personally liked it, but yeah, it wouldn't work for us in the end. There was a certain feedback from a player in our first test drives of the map, where he wanted the Nutcracker to sound a little bit more serious, menacing, and, I quote, more gluttonous. That word stuck in my mind, and I tried to focus more on my throat instead of my lungs to put out this evil, menacing voice. And I took much inspiration from Elden Ring. I'm sure it's a game you all love. And there was a character that focused more on his throat, and he sounded like he was consuming things while he was talking. And he was like, "Oh, welcome." And I kinda morphed my voice into that feeling. The feeling of your mouth being stuffed by something. So from the first stage where we went like full fantasy mode and, "Oh, welcome you filthy mercenaries," we were like, "Merry smissmas, you filthy nut jobs." We are taking into consideration all of the feedback you guys have been putting up for the map. Some people talked about not having good enough equipment to record, or about the amateur voice acting. Well, I have to admit, this is my actual first voice acting job, and it really meant something for me because I grew up with the game, and I really love the game, and I wanted to put out something original for the people to enjoy. And when I open YouTube and watch videos of you guys playing the map and actually enjoying the whole experience, it kind of lifts my spirits. I know. My work isn't perfect by any means. Regardless, your feedback is valuable to my job, and I really appreciate all of it. Before I go, I just wanted to say thank you for playing, actually. This means a lot to me. This community means a lot to me. And I hope this is just the beginning of my career, because, as I said, I really love voice acting and giving people the thrills or the laughs about it. So yeah, thank you again, and I guess I'll get to see you in the next project. Nutty as always. Happy holidays, and stay safe.
So that was it. This was Player Destruction Nutcracker. Thank you to everyone who supported me over the years. I read every comment you guys write on YouTube, the workshop, anywhere really, and this project means a lot to me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this insight of the development of the map, and thank you for watching.